1, 2, 3, 4. And we're back, MixTapers. As always, I'm your host, Punky Bruiser. With me, as always, due to a recent court ruling, Dylan Willoughby, legally obligated to be here.
I guess I am legally obligated to be here, but you know, it's all right. We're here, we're styling, we're profiling here at the MixTape.
I've got it in writing. MixTapers.
Check the signature. It's probably not mine. Very specific.
Oh, goodness. MixTapers, we're honored to have joining us tonight, coming from not so far from me in Portland, Maine. I'd like all of you to help welcome the founder of the Among the Trees Music Festival, Christopher Jacques. How are we doing tonight?
Pretty good, man. Wait, is this a swearing show? Can I say pretty
pretty fucking good.
Pretty fucking
Yeah,
good.
yeah, keep
awesome
it.
weekend.
Yeah.
Awesome weekend of shows. Got to get out there and talk about the festival all weekend. Was at the Deftones show with Gojira. That was amazing. Was at the Kikagaku Moyo show last night. Just lots of people talking about the festival all weekend. It was a really good time.
Chris, for my MixTapers that may not be familiar, first introduce yourself and tell us about your baby, the Among the Trees Music Festival.
No, I am Christopher Jacques. I have been playing music in New England for too fucking long, and most recently my band is called What Comes Next, and we're a new version of my old band, the Christopher Jacques Trio, where we play progressive rock, post-rock, psychedelic rock, that type of stuff. I played in jam bands for a long time before that, and I have played the festival circuit itself for about 13 years now. Oh, 13 years now, yeah. And yeah, that's about the long and the short of it. And actually, my first festival ever that I ever played at was at Harry's Hill.
Oh, really?
And
what
that's
year?
where Among the Trees is going to be held. So it's real. This festival has so many little aspects of it that are special to me, and one of them is definitely that Harry's Hill is allowing us to have this special event.
And that's huge, because usually for a long time the music selection and style has been pretty select, more on the jam side. And this is one of the, over the last couple of years, it's been opening up to different ideas. They just had Hip Hop on the Hill last year, which was a great show. And now this year, you're kicking off the entire the year of shows there at Harry's with the Among the Trees Music Festival.
And yeah, the Hill has never seen any of these bands before. Some of these musicians have played Harry's Hill before, like, for example, Nate Wilson from Percy Hill. Percy Hill has played the Hill before, but Nate has never played the Hill with his band Ghosts of Jupiter, which is a psych rock monster masterpiece of a band. But like, none of these bands have ever played Harry's Hill. So we're kicking off the season of Harry's Hill with brand new music, and not just brand new music, but brand new genres that Harry's has never really delved into. They've had rock bands at their jam band festivals, but they've never had a rock festival that's kind of what we're trying to do with Among the Trees is run the scope of what modern rock is looking like, because modern rock and roll music's coming back, and it looks cool and it sounds cool and it's mathy and proggy and artistic and loud as fuck, and that's what we wanted Among the Trees to kind of showcase, a lot of that type of stuff.
Sounds like Dylan.
Like me.
He's
I do like math, and I am loud as fuck. So
he gets.
You're gonna love a couple of the bands this week.
Oh man! So honestly, I'm really excited, because as someone who's been, a patron of Harry's Hill for 21 years, I'm really excited to see some different music coming in there. I am so excited for not only to see some different music in there, to be a part of it, to be help celebrating our 2-year anniversary together, be able to come, and to be able to come and MC That's an honor in itself. So for me, like for you, it was the first festival you ever played. For me, it was the first festival I've ever attended. So to come back 21 years later and to be an MC there, I'm honestly going to try not to get choked up about it because I've met so many important people that are in my life there. And there's magic there. There's magic on that property. And I'm so excited to share in that because this festival is absolutely stacked. You got some amazing bands. I know Dylan and I have been gushing over the playlist. Honestly, I'm so stoked for the Rupert selection. We are so excited to have Riley on the show with us this week and checking out their tunes because holy shit. What
I just saw them last week, not last weekend, 2 weekends ago in Somerville at the Jungle, and holy shit, it's so cool what they do, man. It's if any of the listeners haven't checked out their music yet, they've got a bunch of really great music videos. They've got a great music video of them covering Radiohead out there that I hope they do that cover up at Among the Trees. But
I hope so too.
Their original music also kind of is like a rock and roll version of what Radiohead kind of pushed towards with like its song structure is familiar and it's not difficult to understand, which some prog rock is like, what the fuck is going on? But with the Rupert selection, it always feels like you're listening to a rock and roll song, but it's so non-formulaic, it catches you off guard and you feel like you're being shown something that the pages are turning in front of you instead of just like a whole painting you're looking at once. You get different aspects exposed to you as you're listening to their music. Fucking love that band.
Me too. And honestly, that's just one element of an amazing day of truly unbelievable bands out of the Northeast. How did you come together, first of all, to start a festival? Because obviously that's no small task in itself.
So I went to festivals for years and I started working production at like a different kind of gig, like corporate art gigs, you know, like the art festivals when they have like all of a sudden giant art exhibits that pop up in a major city. I started doing gigs like that. And then I started working the State Theater in Thompson's Point and just doing a lot of like stage work. Nothing like too fancy. I started working as an audio engineer, learning how to do some live sound as fill in for people, and just being like this close to seeing how it all happens. Because I was always hanging if I wasn't working a gig, I ended up hanging out with the stage crew often anyways. I got to know a lot of the people behind the scenes that put together the festivals at Harry's. Big up Jody. The people that put together the Wormtown and Strange Creek music festivals have been very kind to me over the years. They've put me on for like a decade plus of shows. The guys that put on scientific music festivals. These are really amazing people that kind of showed me a little bit of a window into what it takes to throw a festival. And it scared me just enough into thinking that I might be able to pull it off. Like I saw what they did. I saw their successes. And I saw them clearly delineate what is bad business practices because all these festivals had some stuff in common. And if you look at success over and over again, you kind of see where you might be able to replicate it with maybe a different face to it. And that leads to why. There isn't a real great home in the Northeast for rock and roll that pushes boundaries. Because a lot of the club scene has been kind of catered towards drinking, partying with your friends. The music is more of a background experience at, I'd say, you know, probably just guessing 70-80% of bars. There are some bars that exclusively deal with original content, and those are my favorite places.
Yep.
But
absolutely.
And people got to make their money. I'm not shitting on any venue for doing what they're doing, but I just noticed that there were less and less places that were carving out a space for the weird stuff and the hyper artistic stuff and the stuff that maybe wasn't about getting down and dancing, but maybe like more like observing a musical art gallery. And it's just because of the way that people look at the festival scene, what people usually enjoy from festivals, that it's led to a great diversity of bands. I wanted to focus in on the 15% of bands that are playing all these festivals that are really pushing boundaries and just do a whole day of that. And really make it about trying to experience music as art and art as a live experience, because we're going to have some amazing live painters who are going to be painting out in the field. We're going to be having some amazing visual artists that are going to be coming on. Dead Drop and MFE Productions are producing one of the most amazing light shows I've ever been able to witness. I keep seeing little peeks into what Dead Drop is making for us. And it was a niche audience that I was hoping we can create a space for. Because I see it thriving in New York and Brooklyn. I see it thriving in New Jersey and Connecticut. And I see bands all over New England popping up playing the sound, but we don't have a festival.
We needed one. We absolutely needed one. Absolutely.
It's what we do.
We have some of the best music festivals of all genres. You want underground rave? Come to the Northeast.
Exactly.
You want the best basement hardcore shows? You come to Boston. You come to New York. Hell, even in Maine, New Hampshire, unbelievable punk hardcore metal scene, and the secret places that you have no idea exist. That's the Northeast.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that there is a call for a festival like this amongst the musicians and their hardcore fans, because the fans of these genres are so fucking hardcore. You know, punk fans, rock fans, prog fans, they give such a shit about getting to the show. I mean, hell, I bet you, I'm gonna ask this, how far have you driven for a fucking rock show, man? Exactly. Halfway across the country, all the way across the country.
Yeah, I've driven I've been to Kansas for a show. I've been to Baltimore, Virginia. Like I've had some serious hauls. New York many a times. Not too long.
7 hours. Quite a few 7-hour trips.
What about you, Dylan? What's the furthest you've traveled for a show?
Probably 7 hours, I would say roughly. It was but we didn't stay the night. We did all the way there, show and then go back. That's always what we do. But yeah, there's a few artists that me and my friend will consistently do that for. It's happened multiple times, 6 to 7 hour trips.
You need a place to have a pilgrimage to. And when there was no festival for, like you said, the weird, more unique rock, indie, progressive, you can't quite put your finger on it. All those bands tend to cycle together anyways, in the Northeast. But for them not to have a focal point to be able to go and be like, hey, this is our home festival, it was absolutely needed. So that's why I was given the opportunity for us to be a part of this. We're like, oh, absolutely. We absolutely want to be there.
And so to be clear, thank fuck for festivals like Wormtown, Strange Creek, Harry's Hill, these festivals that have made room for progressive music, whatever you want to label it as, hard rock music. They always make a small space for some of these bands, but this isn't about an event celebrating all of those bands, or as many as we can fit into
as we can fit in a day, and that's exciting.
12 bands in one day.
Who do we got? Who do we got on the lineup? Let's go from top to finish, all the way through.
All right, top to finish, all the way through. We start off the day with Apollo Suns, fusion funk from Canada.
Ooh.
They are blowing up. They are going to be huge next year. No one's going to be able to afford them. They're fucking awesome. After that, we've got the Cosmic Factory from Rhode Island. They've been together 10 plus fucking years. They used to do shows with my old jam band, People with Instruments. They are a wonderful group of guys, and they bring the fucking like heavy riffs. It's great stuff. After that, we've got Lawn. Lawn is a group of guys that are all Berkeley / conservatory alums. They're getting together to do like a true fusion sound. Like when I say true fusion, I guess that's kind of a gatekeepy kind of sound. What I'm saying is just like original fusion, like Chick Corea, Return to Forever, Weather Report, kind of heavy, super weird out there, takes tons of risks, tons of riffs, tons of odd time signatures.
Risk, dude.
Yes,
and riffs, risks and riffs.
Risk and riffs. I fucking all right. You got me in on that.
Okay, after that we've got Austin Dellin. He is the front guy for the band Delco out of Rhode Island, but he's putting out a solo record that is kind of like math pop instead of math rock. It is so beautiful sounding. He just put out his first single, Sail. The EP is going to be called Notion, but like no ocean, or not an ocean, Notion. And it is absolutely beautiful music. The lyrics are super uplifting, and I don't know, I listened to the first track and I was just like feeling really good about myself. It is really uplifting music. It's going to be him and a drummer, and they're going to just play the whole EP plus a couple of tracks from the future LP. It's going to be his very first live performance of the stuff.
Hell yeah.
After that will be Rest Assured from New Jersey, math / noise rock, unbelievable band. Just listen to them. I could describe them for days. It's a sound that's like it's like if New Jersey and Brooklyn noise rock needed an anime soundtrack, that's these guys.
All right.
Whoa. Hell yeah, dude.
After that is my band. What comes next? We haven't released anything yet because we've been writing our EP, but we'll be releasing our first like wave of singles shortly after the festival.
This is like your big debut then.
Yeah, this is our big debut.
No pressure, baby.
What we'll be doing is going to be a combination of interesting cinematic covers. We're doing a piece from an anime called Cowboy Bebop.
Oh,
and we're doing a piece
never heard of that around here.
That?
We're doing a piece from
Cowboy who?
Cowboy what?
It's all I can do without getting sued.
We're gonna be doing the real folk blues with a bunch of special guests. And then we're also going to be doing a piece off of the Amelie soundtrack. And then the rest of the stuff is going to be all new original music. Nothing from the old band Christopher Jacques trio except for one song which we completely rewrote.
Nice.
And it's all heavy, psychedelic, rock and fucking roll music. You're gonna headbang with us.
Like a far more like tangible version of Fantomos's director's cut with your cinematic version.
Yeah, there's definitely something about that. I mean, we're all fans of like Mogwai and like post rock. I've recently been listening to a bunch of stuff like And So I Watch From Afar and Cloud Kicker. So that's where I love the production on Cloud Kicker. Oh my god! If you want to talk about just losing yourself in some space, just put on Cloud Kicker. Whew. I love how whenever anyone's like, "Hey man, you should tour," he's like, "The fuck I should."
I don't need to do that.
You kidding me? People are exhausting. I just record everything myself. Okay, so after us, the rest of the night is just pure lit. It's the headliners. Rupert Selection plays their first set, followed by Ghosts of Jupiter.
Phenomenal band.
Another set of Rupert Selection, followed by our headliners, Strange Changes, which is a 9-piece progressive, just godsend of music. They're like if Snarky Puppy had an evil twin. or Frank Zappa had a bunch of punk rock babies.
Didn't he though?
No, I think he had a couple of lame babies.
Actually, he was on Maury. He wasn't the father. That's
so after Strange Changes wraps up, and we then move into the late night, and the late night gets silly, but still keeps the same themes. We've got a band called Clam, which is a trio. It's a synth player, a bass player that plays a low detuned bass and is like a lead bass player, and a real big heavy blues drummer. And what they kind of do is this like Emerson, Lake and Palmer meets Jay Dilla. It's fucked.
Okay.
Absolutely. I love the sound of a lead bass. That definitely piques my interest. Like
lead bass for sure. Yeah, no, he's Jameson Stewart's the bass player, and I got to work with him in a band a long time ago, and he is just a huge fan of guys like John Paul Jones, especially his work in the Them Crooked Vultures record.
Yes.
And then guys like John Entwistle from The Who, and the way that he performed, especially in the stuff that was like just that like Who's Next and shit like that, where it's just like huge chords from Pete and John gets fucking crazy.
Them thunder fingers, you know?
He's one of those kind of guys. So you'll hear the synth player just creating these incredible textures while the bass player just murders you with filthy riffs. It's great stuff. And we wrap up the night with a band called Barbara, and they are I don't know, there are a couple of horns and a drummer and a bassist, and it's weird and loud and bouncy and goofy and heavy all at once. I put it on and I immediately started it. You know what? We should definitely make sure that everyone gets to listen to Barbara, because they are the one band on this entire set. I cannot fucking figure out how to describe them. It's
okay. Well, obviously
it's like if part of the marching band got dosed and marched off into a different field and started playing weird, awesome punk music instead of the marching band music.
I really like that description in itself. It's like somebody dosed a marching band and they just veered off and went their own way. That all right. That has me, and that's how we wrap up the night. And this is amazing.
That's actually not how we wrap up the night. So after that, we're going to be doing what's called the Creature Feature, and the Creature Feature is going to be an improvisational experience featuring any number of the musicians. We've got at least 6 musicians from the festival all signed up as a super group to come perform, and basically whoever is still left standing and wants to come hang out is going to come hang out. We're just going to experiment with psychedelic soundscapes, and this is going to be near 3 o'clock in the morning, so we're just going to
have fun. We're gonna have a good time with it.
A last man standing kind of feature, if you will. We'll find out about all the creatures.
We'll find out. And that's a very important point. So you have this entire other element, which we haven't even touched upon to the show, for the creatures that are among the trees here at the show. And this is something that I'm so excited to be a part of as well, because it's something so unique. And you've lightly described it before we started to Dylan as a scavenger hunt meets LARPing, but it's so much more. Tell us about the creatures and the interactive element that's to the festival.
Hey, so we wanted to talk about how music like this is usually stuff. Part of the reason why fans who love this music so much love this music so passionately and like talk to you loudly in the corner of the room about their favorite band and that weird album that isn't available on Spotify. Like, the reason why these types of people exist is because you have to go out and seek this kind of music for the most part. You're not going to hear it on the radio. If it is at a festival, it's probably going to be playing at 3 p.m. on a Sunday while you're trying to find a food cart that still has coffee. If you don't know some of these bands, it's hard to find some of these bands. So our subtext of the festival has been, imagine the creatures you'll find among the trees. And what we're going to be asking people to do, if they want to, is participate in a scavenger hunt, if you will, and to try to find the creatures. And they'll be scattered I don't want to tell too much about I don't want to like spoil the win of the game, but basically, you're going to be looking for the creatures where the art is, because the creatures and the art go hand in hand. What you have to do is you have to go discover the creatures. It's kind of like a game version of going out and trying to discover a new band. And anyone who's ever gone to a show by themselves know the exact feeling that I'm talking about right now, where you're like, I'm hunting something new that's for me to enjoy. So we're trying to like create a fun gamified way of representing that experience. So anyone who wants to will be able to participate in a game that is being put on by my dear friend Jack and the expert gamer Crystal K, who runs a company called FestaQuest. And FestaQuest is all about gaming the festival experience. You get points for introducing yourself to strangers or picking up a piece of trash. You get points for trying to discover a new band or reminding your friends to drink water. So we took what she was already doing with FestaQuest and we layered a little bit of lore. There's these creatures out in the woods and they're hard to find. But if you try to find them, they'll show themselves to you. And that's the point of this music and this festival. And that's why the game is important to me and why you hear me like giggling about it. I'm so excited about the game.
I'm so excited about the game. You know, I'm wearing my Games Masters Union shirt here. Like
I'm playing at 7. Tonight.
Oh,
I've got
beautiful.
My game tonight at 7.
Oh, beautiful. For somebody that is huge into, role-playing games and to tabletop gaming and things like that, I think if anyone who's ever wanted to, get out and try LARPing and stuff like that, doing it amongst the music in a music festival setting where you have like a scavenger hunt and you're interacting with the people there and the artists, because you put so much work into finding not only these spectacular bands, but these unbelievable visual artists, these visual performing artists as well. And the idea of the game is to kind of take you out of your shell a little bit and to literally work yourself through the entire festival. And I think that is beautiful.
You're not going to miss a single bit of the excitement, because each portion of the quest of the scavenger hunt brings you directly to the bands and directly to the vendors in between each band. It is going to be a guidepost on how to just like, if you wanted to put on horse blinders and just let the guidebook bring you around the festival, you will still experience every single part of this festival. And that is the genius between these two game masters. I am so lucky to get to work with them, and I need to call them and remind them that, because I try to remind them once a week that the work they're doing is
amazing. I love you. This is amazing. Dylan, have you ever heard anything like this, man? I mean, I've been to a lot of shows. I've been to a lot of festivals, but I've never seen anything like this.
No, this is very unique, and I love the idea of it. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think those who participate are going to walk away with a once in a lifetime experience, because I've never ever
also
heard
anyone who
like this.
anyone who completes the game is going to get a free piece of merch. It's a wood pin that's got the logo of the festival burnt in. We're going to have those available for anyone who completes the quest. And just as a little reminder that you found the creatures, and maybe some people realize that they're creatures too.
Oh man, this is very exciting. Oh, yeah. So many amazing bands, so many amazing artists, such an amazing adventure planned throughout the day. You get this mug introducing all the great music throughout the day. You got me emceeing the event. We are in a mixtape. We got a little something special surprise planned for the event, which you have to be there in order to find out what it is. So Chris, we're so excited.
Very large ideas.
Yes.
Almost humongous in proportion.
Almost humongous in proportions what we have secretly planned for this festival. But you have to go be among the trees in order to find out. And if you want to find out more about that, you can go to harryshill.net, or you can go to the Facebook link down below and check out the event page down here. Chris, this is very exciting.
Get your tickets. Wait 1 second. Get your tickets now because my blood pressure is through the roof. I'm on. No, seriously, that's the only. You're gonna come. We know you're gonna come. Come. We love that you're coming. Just buy the tickets in advance. Bring my blood pressure for every ticket sold. My blood pressure comes down 2 points.
He's an old man now. We're not young boys anymore. He needs this, you know. He's a married man. You can't, you know. He's got a dog. He's got responsibilities. Mixtapers, help him out. Bring his blood pressure down a little bit. You know, get your tickets in advance. We're really excited. So on top of all of this, camping is included with every ticket. So you
camping, water, parking. It's just $60. There's no hidden fee. There's no extra. If you want to bring your giant RV, you got to buy a special ticket for that just because we got to put you in a special spot. But other than that, $60 at the gate, $60 in advance, no hidden fees, camping included, water included, parking included. There's carside camping available. There's woods camping available. There's going to be amazing art for sale and to look at.
Tons of great food, of course. So don't go there worrying about something to eat. There's tons of food vendors there as well.
Yeah, there's gonna be some amazing food.
Because I mean, look at me. I always worry about something to eat. You know, when I'm finishing eating, I'm like, is this it? Is this the end? You'd be like, I got to figure out the next. You know, I'm already trying to figure out my next meal.
Well, I'll tell you the best thing about one of our vendors. I'll bring a little secret here. We got Slide Street coming up, and you do not end up wanting, because you just get another and another and another, and then once you've realized you had all three, you just do the whole thing again. Yeah, you just end up eating good 9 sliders in a matter of about an hour, and you're like, well, ready for the rest of the music. Just sit down for it for a little while.
Yes, our very own Chef Adam and his new company Slide Street is going to be there. Mixtapers, you're definitely going to want to check out his cart because something a little special there. And also, you got to show up to find out. And that is Saturday, June 4th, Starks Maine. Beautiful, beautiful Starks Maine. You can find out more at harryshill.net. And we're gonna go on a journey tonight, Chris. And you broke down you gave us a little breakdown of all the bands tonight, a little behind the curtain, and now we're gonna give them a taste because that's
here's the real secret. I love every single band on this lineup because I am the fan that I want to provide a festival for. Fans like us. And I am obsessed with every single band on this lineup. And I have to admit that every single one of them are just out of this world talents that I wish nothing but success for. So I'm just a touch biased, but I think this is one of the best lineups you're going to be able to get to see in 2020.
Honestly, I completely agree. I was like, all right, let's check this out. Let's check this out. And then I listened to the first band. And then I listened to the 5th band, and 6th, and 7th, and I was like, well, holy shit. I'm not even just saying this because, you know, we're sponsored. The event is fucking stacked. And that's made us even more like wanted to, once we heard the entire breakdown of the event, like we have to be a part of this. So we're absolutely honored that we can come and be a part of this very first start off of what's just the beginning for the Among the Trees and the many adventures ahead.
I mean, we're so happy that we get to help you celebrate your 2nd anniversary, your 2nd birthday, if you will.
2nd birthday.
We're so pumped that we get to have you guys be a part of this because you represent a very similar spirit to what we're doing. You know, we're aligned in a lot of what we're trying to provide.
Absolutely. We're totally kindred spirits within our music community, and we are much stronger together, you know, and we're building each other up, and that's what it's all about here in the Mixtape family.
And we've also been in the same room apparently half dozen times.
Yeah. And so many times along the way, just did not realize, like, oh, you were there? Me too. Super crazy. So the world of Mixtapers is a little bit smaller than we could assume. And you know what? Maybe the world is a little bit more magical than we had known. And I think the best way to find that is to go to the Among the Trees Music Festival on Saturday, June 4th. So on behalf of Dylan and myself, Dylan, I love you. Dylan, I love Chris too. I don't want you to be jealous.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's fine. You can love as many people as you want.
Oh, thank you. I just, I just wanted to be clear about that, But
polyfriendomous.
Oh, polyfriendibus. I like that.
That works.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you could not be jelly about that.
Oh,
Oh man, that means the world. Thank you for your support. Chris, you've been a peach. This has been a lot of fun. Getting to know a little bit more about the festival, starting on everything. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I am so excited to share all these amazing bands that you worked diligently to put together.
Okay, can we start with? There's music right after this, right? Because we're
we're gonna go into music.
Barbara? Can we start with Barbara?
You want to start with Barbara?
We can start with Barbara
for you. And you know what? This is a unprecedented experience here on the mixtape because this is the first time ever I've ever let anyone else set the mixtape. This is unprecedented. Dylan doesn't make the playlist. I have. All of these years I've done this is the first time I've
the blood pressure again.
It's the first time I've let go of the wheel, and I just what do you want to do before you die? Paint a house, build a house, paint a portrait. This is that Fight Club moment. This is my Fight Club moment where I just sit back and let go. And I'm all right, we'll see what adventure Christopher's going to take us on here, mixtapers. But it's been an honor. This has been so exciting to have you come on the show. I feel like we're going to have, because we have so many similar interests and things, I feel we're going to have to bring you back. Because it's been an absolute joy to have you on the show. So thank you so much. It absolutely means the world. Mixtapers, make some noise. One of our featured guests this week, Christopher Jacques of the Among the Trees Music Festival. Yes, thank you so much, dude.
Thank you guys. This has been a blast.